The Man Who Invented Christmas is directed by Bharat, Nalluri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and written by Susan Coyle, and it stars Dan Stevens as the acclaimed author Charles Dickens. And we find it down on his luck Charles Dickens being pressured into writing a new book after 3 consecutive flops, being pressured with all the debt coming into his house, his parents coming into his house to live with him for a while because they are also in debt, and the pressures from his publisher, his friends, and the people who used to revere him after Oliver Twist. And the movie tackles what was the creative process of writing one of the most acclaimed short stories of all time, A Christmas Carol. This film is damn interesting because it works as a very interesting take on what was to write a story that 99.9% of the people in the world love and love to read and know around Christmas time, but it's also a very damn interesting character study. But not a character study in terms of let's get to know Charles Dickens throughout his life. It's a character study in the sense of let's explore this writer and his mind and the pressures of maybe writer's block and what is to write under so much pressure from society and from friends and from family and all the problems you have when you have a stable lifestyle, having a house, having a wife, having to provide for a family. And it tackles all these elements very interestingly so. Charles Dickens is a damn interesting character, and the way he starts to come up with his story and the different elements and different plot points in the story and the different characters and how he's going to use these characters and what he wants to say with this story and how he's going to say it in this story with all these different elements and composition of what makes a story and what worked at the end to make this story so revered until today is fascinating. The movie itself is interesting because it's a meeting of truths, half-truths, and pure fiction, and so you have enough reality to hit you like a ton of bricks, but the film is also whimsical and it celebrates the wonderfulness that is this story and what it has to say about Christmas and how it changed people, the perspective they had on Christmas, and how it reinvigorated the passion that people have for the season and to celebrate it with family and to read this story and why this story is so important is something that the movie does explain very, very well. And Dan Stevens is fantastic as Charles Dickens. All the little emotions that this guy had to play, he provides them so well. Charles Dickens in this film is a damn interesting character in himself because Charles Dickens is not a funny guy. He's not a guy who's down on his luck and he's just depressed and he's going to drink until he's drunk. No, this guy goes through a roller coaster of emotions and he makes you feel a roller coaster of emotions. You feel very connected to this guy throughout the film because of all the struggles he goes through. And Christopher Plummer as Ebenezer Scrooge is also damn perfect casting. It's one of those roles that has been played by many people throughout time, but Christopher Plummer fits the bill perfectly so. I was damn pleased with his performance in this film, and I was damn pleased with the way they utilize Ebenezer Scrooge. He is very, very layered. He's not just the Scrooge we know from the story. He's a Scrooge in the middle of being created, and so the questions that this Ebenezer Scrooge has towards his creator are damn interesting, and the film itself, due to this, makes you actually see some portions of the story that you never even thought of. There are points that he tackles in this film and questions directly at Dickens, and you're like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. How did that work by the end? It's a film that celebrates the season and all that comes with it. It celebrates the quality and the reverence of this story. It celebrates its creator and it celebrates the creation and how tough a process it was. The Man Who Invented Christmas is a damn perfect film for the season. An enjoyable watch, a wonderful watch, a cheerful watch, and it's a martini. A good time, anytime. What did you think of The Man Who Invented Christmas, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? And let me know, what is your favorite version of the adaptation of this story? To me, it is still the Disney short story classic with Uncle Scrooge playing Ebenezer Scrooge. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Love you all from the bottom of my heart. Still have many reviews to come while I'm in London. Battle of the Sexes, Florida Project, and Killing of a Sacred Deer. And so I see you in all of those. And so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!